This region actually had been taken over quite a bit, and Philip II, father of Alexander the Great, actually took over Thessaly and kept on minting coins, the same coins, under his reign. And so this was the world during right at Philip's death, before Alexander took over, and you can kind of see, what was happening in the world at the time. Map related anyway. If you go to the next slide, and I kind of group them. And so here there are 7 different groups, and within the groups there are many different head types that go with different reverse types. And if you look at the coin on the left, you'll see above her head it says Sigma, and so that's the name of the artist. And if you look on the reverse of a different coin there on the right, it has the same Sigma. So that's the artist signatures for when you do find them on coins occasionally. So group 1 had head types going from 1 to 13, and then all these subcategories as well under those. Then you go to the next slide. Group 2 had only 2 head types, 14 and 15. Okay. And then you go to the next slide. Group 3, again, only 2 different head types, 16 and 17, but then all these subcategories as well. So within that, you've got a lot of different numbers. And so a lot of different reverse, a lot of different obverse types. If you want to go to the next slide, Mike. Here in group 4, probably one of the biggest groups, you've got 18 to 23 different, number 18, 19, 21. So that's 6 different head types within group 4 with all its subcategories as well. So one of the larger groups. You go to the next slide. Group 4 is continuing. Actually goes all the way to 23. So group 4 is definitely the largest of all the different groups. And you can see how simple some of these coins will get over time. And obviously it's all going to come down to artistic merit. And so remember, guys, like I just said, when the one in Nomos, all these coins we've seen, we didn't see a trident in between the legs. Now, is that if it's worth it to you to own one with the trident between the legs and you want to pay a huge premium for that, go for it. But ultimately, you don't need to. You want to buy one that's got really pretty obverse, really pretty reverse. These are affordable in almost everybody's price range, depending on the quality of the coin. I consider it kind of like Alexander the Great drams. They're widely available in all different qualities and all different price ranges. And there are varieties of different types with different styles, depending on the period where they're minted and things like that. But there are so many of these Larissa drams out there, so don't ever overpay in an auction for one of these unless it's spectacular, because there's no reason to. And then if we go to the next slide, we are at group 5 and 6, very short runs. So group 5 only has 1 head type and group 6 only has 3. So smaller groupings as well. And then finally, if you go to the last slide, group 7 only has 1 as well. So right at the end, there's that one on the far right that has her kind of shoulder coming up. That's a spectacular coin. I think that one actually brought like, $60,000 or $70,000 in auction. So, I mean, it's a one of a kind type of coin. When you look at all of these coins and one like that just sticks out. It's like, again, it's like Alexander. When you get one that's so spectacular that it shines above the thousands of others, then it's going to bring really crazy money, and it's warranted. But like, I thought this was cool on the 7. You see the bull in between the legs there on the enlargement I put in there. That's very unusual. That's very unusual to have a bull's head in between the legs like that. And you can also get one that's signed by the artist, by one of these artists at the time. So for not as much as a Syracuse piece obviously would cost you, if you're into collecting signed coins, most of us can't afford signed coins, but you probably can do it in Larissa. So it's a cool thing to collect. I wouldn't necessarily collect it in huge runs because it'd get boring. But I think when you talk about ancient Greek coin typesets, you have to always include Larissa in there. It just makes sense. There are certain coins that if I had to put together what I would consider a typeset of Greek coins, I would do Larissa, Alexander, Philip, I would do Metapontum, I would do Corinth, I would do Athens, and some of the ones that you can get on a regular basis. Obviously if I had the money, then I would go for Syracuse Decadram, because that's a type, or Syracuse Decadram, which obviously depending on the quality is going to be all over the place. So I would get a coin from Carthage, and then you can do all of this in bronze. There are lots of bronze coins of all of these same cities. So if you can't afford the silver, do the bronze, because you'll find bronze coins, like you can get a bronze coin for Larissa for probably $40. So you don't have to spend huge money